This practice is about the pelvic floor and gathering energy and support through the center of the body. So we're going to take the ball, put it in between the inner thighs. This is a progressive squeeze. The focus of this is to be able to sense how you're moving from this subtle squeeze to a more intensive squeeze and then back out. This is called tone. This is very different than contract, contract, contract. We want to create relationship. So where we start this squeeze should travel through the entire body. So here we go. First thing, let's feel the pelvis. We need to have that support for the rest of the torso. Secondly, let's feel front, back, sides. So we're really actually very omnidirectional. The image I like to use is pufferfish, or like a water balloon. So you're really responsive. You're not in this hard postural position of, I've got good posture. So we want to soften a little bit. Now you're going to start to squeeze the ball and feel that through the inner thighs. Now the more you squeeze and you're condensing, can you follow that as it moves into the pelvis? And then there's a lift and it's going to move up the body. And then you're slowly releasing that squeeze and moving out. And I'm using my arms to kind of help demonstrate. You don't have to do that, but you could. So when we're learning something new, the more information or visuals or being able to sense it in different ways, it really helps. So there's that squeeze and we gather. And there's a lift. That's a very different sensation than squeezing in a Kegel and then releasing. Let's do that 2 more times. So we start with this gentle squeeze and then we're condensing. So we're building our potency. And you can think of your pelvic floor like a little diamond, and where we're trying to lift is right up in the middle. And then slowly releasing. And you're gonna feel muscles working, but we're truly supporting them with the fluid system, with relationship in the body, tone, which is our relationship to gravity and space, and our breath, and a little lift, and then releasing. Beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna put the ball on our thighs and start to roll it down. So just this shifting forwards is giving our pelvic floor a little workout. It's gentle, it's like a nice little warm up. And reaching out, how far do you want to reach that ball out? You could even go tippy fingers. That takes us into the practice that we did with our fingers, our hands and our arms. And then roll the ball back. Roll it right up. So this little push is helping us feel ourselves. Let's do that again. So we roll the ball out. We're folding forwards. You can feel the weight shift. How you rock forward on your sits bones. Reach the ball. And then rolling back up. Now we're going to put the ball in between the fingers and reach up, and the elbows can come a little bit in and forward, and you're just reaching that ball up overhead, going into a little bit of extension, and then returning back down. And now we're going to take the ball over to the right, and you're just rolling down the right side. So that you push the ball in and the leg has to push back. So this again is practice, feeling ourselves, consciously embodying ourselves, and then reaching out on that diagonal, just letting
your body fold over, supporting yourself, and then rolling back. Little press of the ball and your body can press back into it. Find the fingertips, and now you're just going to do that beautiful extension, and it's small extension, just reaching the ball up, softening through the shoulders, softening the back, and returning back down. And let's do that on the other side, on the left. So ball just goes on the side, you're rolling down, little push. The more information we have about ourselves, the more we're going to be able to feel comfortable in our body, the more choices we create, and the more usefulness. Sounds like a good thing to me. And come in, and then here we go, fingertips, and just that spiraling rotational extension up. Feel your breath, breathe. And then return back down. Oh, and take a little rest. We're gonna put the ball underneath the feet now. Actually, you know what? Let's just do one. Let's do one foot. You're gonna come right to the edge of your chair and roll the ball out and flex the foot. And then use that, all of those little muscles to grab that ball and see if you can go right up to your toes underneath. If being underneath is too much for your knee, move the ball further forward. And rolling out, and there's a lift here. And then roll back in. Let's try that 2 more times. So we're keeping everything organized to center. Rolling back in, that toe is gonna roll underneath. 1 more time, just gonna roll the ball out, nice reach through the bottom of the foot. And then roll back in, and you can even go right to the top of the foot. And then we're gonna take that over to the other side. So here we go, so you're gonna roll out. So there was the whole video of doing all those practices with the feet and waking them up. So our feet have a relationship to our pelvic floor. So that would be a great video for you to go and practice, and then come back to this one. And back. And let's do 2 more. Rolling forward, there's a lift. So our foot is like a diaphragm. Our pelvic floor is a diaphragm. So we want to have all this nice responsiveness, little spring-loadedness, and then returning back in. Now let's try both feet for our grand finale. All right, they got to share the real estate there. So we're right on our sits bones, but if you feel like you're going to fall, you can always sit back on the chair a little bit more. And we're actually going to take our hands on the chair for a little bit more support. So see if you can roll all the way up to your tippy toes, or just as close as you can. Can you feel how you have to have this response down in that pelvic floor? And then you're gonna roll the ball out, and you can be as expressive with your feet as you want. You can have like cat feet. Now, as the legs reach out, we don't want them to pull everything with them. So we find that nice lift in the pelvic floor. And then your feet are going to be very expressive again. That's my little cat hands and feet. And you're gonna roll back, and could you go up to the tippy toes? It's pretty challenging. And you're gonna roll out. And then roll back in. Now, what if we add a little rotation to this with an arm? So let's take the right arm up, the legs go out, and we're gonna rotate to the left and keep that lift through the pelvic floor, and then return. Let's try it on the other side. Can you go up to the tippy toes without holding on? And then over. So everything is deeply connected. And return. Whew. And how about one more each side? Can you find that puffer fish, that omnidirectionality? Big word. I'm losing my ball. I'm gonna bring it back. It's totally okay to do that. This isn't a show. This is a practice. So it's okay to pause. It's okay to fix things and return. Like if your ball rolls out from under view. Now, what about both arms up? Straight ahead, Reach the legs, circle around. One more this direction. Up through the pelvic floor so you feel like you're lifting. You're supporting the whole rib cage and the head. And let's do 2 more. Could go up to tippy toes. So there's a lot going on here. And one more time. Just let your breath breathe. And return back into finish. So much stuff you can do with this little ball and have a lot of fun with it. Thanks for joining me.